Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let me tell you something. When we talk about switch hitters in combat sports, the damn Terence Crawford, Israel Adesanya, you have to talk about those two guys. They're the cream of the crop when it comes to being a switch hitter, a highly effective switch hitter. I don't know if you guys saw the fight last night, but Israel Adesanya, I never drew this comparison until I was sitting there watching the fight, and I was watching him just fight most of the fight in the southpaw stance, and I said, damn, this guy is like Terence Crawford. Then I saw him, take a step back and switch and then throw the jab while switching. And then I saw him countering from the southpaw stance, orthodox stance. The guy didn't know what was coming at him. He was going to get jabbed with the right hand, backhand with the left, switch, jab with the left hand, backhand with the right, check hook with the left, check hook with the right. Everything Israel Adesanya was doing last night, I was like, this man fights like Terence Crawford. Of course, two different UFC boxing, but the same switch hitting approach to fighting. And their footwork, their discipline, it's parallel. Now, the one thing I'll say that in addition to being switch hitters that these two guys have in common is patience, man. You could tell Adesanya at points in the fight wanted to really, leap in, and let his hands go more, or try to, get in and throw an elbow, maybe even consider turning it into a grappling match. And you can see him fighting with himself to stay disciplined. And when you watch Terence Crawford, you can see when he's fighting, he's always disciplined and calm, but you can see sometimes he'll go to throw a shot and then pull it back like he's thinking. He doesn't want to rush anything. He doesn't want to make mistakes. And he's very calculated, just like Adesanya. And then he'll just sit there, man, pick you apart, counter you. When he has the opportunity, he'll pour it on and see and kind of see if he can get you out of there. But he's not going to be reckless. Terence Crawford learned that early in his career with, I think, what's his name? Yuriorkis Gamboa, where Gamboa caught him when Terence Crawford had him hurt. Gamboa caught him, and the momentum shifted for him really briefly. But ever since then, I haven't seen Terence Crawford get reckless. He's remained disciplined and patient. And Adesanya was the same thing. Even when last night the opponent he was fighting, Cannonier, had him against the cage, you can see Adesanya was staying calm. He was still thinking in there. He was throwing shots to his opponent's face. And those shots weren't necessarily to hurt him, but over a period of time, you keep getting hit with small shots like that, it'll bother you. But it was more to keep his opponent second-guessing himself and not wanting to really to show more aggression, which could have resulted in him getting Adesanya to the ground. But just watching those guys in there, and of course, Terence Crawford's not going to be on no damn cage pent up. He could get on the ropes, but that doesn't happen. What I'm talking about is the ability to stay calm and think and make the necessary adjustments while during the fight. And you can see Adesanya doing that, and you see Terence Crawford doing that. Adjusting fire as the fight goes on. It's one thing to prepare for a fight and then get in the ring and execute the game plan. And then there's another thing to prepare for the fight, get in the ring, attempt to execute the game plan, realize some of this shit's not working, and make adjustments on the fly without any help from your corner. And that's called IQ. And that's what Terence Crawford has, and that's what Adesanya has. I mean, two different disciplines, man, but the same damn fighting style. Being able to punish you from southpaw stance, orthodox stance, being able to outbox you from either one, catching you on the exchanges while he is stepping back, switching stances, letting their hands go, slipping punches. I mean, just the overall ring generalship, and I know the criteria is different in the UFC, but I don't care. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just talking about these guys and their ability to dominate their opponents by being able to effectively utilize those different stances. And obviously, you look at both of them, you say these guys are super, super thin, right? But there's some power there. Adesanya is known for his unbelievable strength. So you look at him, he's 6'4", almost 6'5". He's like he's a damn skinny as hell, right? But the man is all muscle, all strength. Terence Crawford, you look at him, you would think that somebody who's twice his size would be more powerful than him. They say Terence Crawford is extremely powerful. And when you get in the ring, then they feel his strength. And that's another comparison we can draw between the two of them, another parallel we can pull out. Is both of those guys that, extremely, streamlined physiques, extremely thin, no fat, but they're extremely powerful as well. More powerful with the guys who just really, have the muscle packed on, and those are things you just can't teach. So I wanted to point that out. I like Terence Crawford. I like Adesanya. But I'm going to be honest with you. Terence Crawford is the Adesanya of the UFC, Adesanya of boxing, and Adesanya is the Terence Crawford of the UFC, or however the hell that saying goes. They really are, man. And if you're watching this and you're an MMA fan and you don't know who Terence Crawford is, watch Terence Crawford, some of his fights, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And, of course, you boxing fans already know who Terence Crawford is. But if you don't know who Adesanya is, just watch the fight from last night. Just watch the first 2 rounds. That's all you need to watch. And watch how this guy he's poised, he's disciplined, he's switching, stances, he's using the left hand, right hand. Watch how patient he is. Watch how he is dominating his opponent, just psychologically dominating him because of his presence. That's something else Terence Crawford does. Because of his presence in the ring, he dominates his opponents. Sometimes he's not even doing anything. And that's the same thing with Adesanya. Just the movement, just a little switching, not even letting his hands go. Just that presence in the ring. And he's dominating his opponents and getting them to do what he wants them to do. That right there is extremely, extremely impressive. And that means that the opponents respect you. And that means that you bring something more to the table than just a name. So that being said, I'm going to leave it like that. Terence Crawford, Adesanya, one and the same fighting style. In my opinion, I think these two guys should meet. I think they should become acquainted because they are right now, in my opinion, 2 fighters from 2 different disciplines, 2 different combat sports, but 100% alike in all other areas when it comes to fighting, in my opinion. That being said, like and subscribe. Shout out to all the veterans. Yo, man, I'm telling you, very impressed with Adesanya. Always impressed with Terence Crawford. But you guys take care. Keep safe. I appreciate the support. And as always, I'm in the breeze.